So, good morning, good morning, good morning. It seems as though we are now live on Facebook, we're live on YouTube, we're live on LinkedIn. I am Jeannine LaRue. I am here. I don't know if you can even hear me, only because I have my AirPod on. Yes, that's fine. Um, so, I have my AirPod on, and I just hope that you can hear me only because at the time that I scheduled my show, they decided, of course, that they were going to cut the lawn. So I didn't want you to actually hear all of the lawnmower in the back. And I'm glad they're here to cut the lawn because they don't show up on a regular basis. So I'm not going to get upset about the fact that they are here to cut the lawn. So if you can't hear me, I want you to give me a shout out and let me know that you can't hear me. So, there's a reason that I wanted to come on to LaRuelist Cafe today. As I always say, let's talk about it. I enjoy coming on and doing a show. I am so grateful to my uh, person who helps me um, produce this show, Shanique Talafera. She is taking some time off, some needed time, down in, she's away resting for her birthday. She had the nerve to turn 44 years old. She still looks like she's about 30. I'm so happy for her. So I am really excited, though, about doing the show today to talk about aging. And as I said in the post that I put up, that this show is personal for me today. This really is personal. Oh, good. Hey, Pearl, how you doing? Thank you for joining us on a Saturday morning. I do appreciate that. So, I'm going to disclose a few things about me that some of you know and some of you don't know. But I want to leave some messages out there today because, every other Saturday, I do something really special for myself at 8 o'clock. I have therapy. I've been doing it for years. My therapist has become one of my very, very good friends, and I just tell her everything. And see, it's good because you can't talk to friends about a lot of things that are going through your head because they talk to other people. So I kind of like to pay someone I talk to, and then if they tell other people, then I can sue them, and I'll get it'll be a good thing all the way around. I get to get some things off of my chest and listen to some great advice, and then if they tell what I told them, then I'll benefit with some money. So one of those things, that's one of the things that I look at. So I've been in therapy with various therapists for, I would say, in 2 weeks, I'm going to be 76 years old. I would say for about 54 years, I believe so strongly in therapy. And so, what I decided to do this morning, I was talking with her about some of the doctor's appointments, lab work I've gotten, some of the things that I've gotten back over the last 30 days. And some of them are a little unnerving, but, it seems as though with every piece of lab work, everything that the doctors say to me, it's always the same tagline. Well, I'll say, well, tell me about this. Why does it look as though my retina is detaching? And why does it look like it's tearing? And they'll say, well, because you're aging. And this is just something that happens to various people as they get older. And you're almost 80 years old. And then I'm like, okay. So then I get my blood work back. And I've been going through this over the last 4 months that all of the lab work comes back great. But it looks as though there may be a kidney issue with me. And I'll say, well, doc, what can I do differently? I mean, I'm eating right, I'm doing moderate exercise, and I've been taking care of myself. I take my meds on time. And the answer comes back, well, Janine, you're almost 80 years old. You're going to be 76. It goes along with aging. I keep up with all of my cardio- cardiology appointments. I've been doing this now for 37 years. I take my blood pressure medicine on time. I take my cholesterol medicine on time. And then I find out that I have a 60% blockage in the main artery, and it's in a part of the artery. Those of you who have the cardiac catheterization, it's wonderful when they can go in. They say, "Oh, you have a blockage." They just do a little balloon. They put a stent in. It takes care of it. Well, not for me. Where my blockage is, they cannot put a stent in. It's in the main artery. It's where it turns. If they put a stent in, I could have cardiac arrest immediately because the stent could go sideways. So we have to wait for the blockage to get worse. And then they would have to do open heart surgery. So I'm like, well, how does this happen to me? I'm taking my meds, I'm exercising, I'm doing everything right. And it's like, well, Janine, it's a part of aging. It's a part of aging. And the reason, and I was talking with my um, therapist about it this morning, I said, I get a lot of folks will say to me, Janine, I look on Facebook, you are just everywhere. You've got to calm down. You've got to slow down. You've got to stay in some. Folks saw me on my vacation. They're like, oh my goodness, you're gone again. People want to know, oh, you're being honored all the time. What's going on? Listen to me. One of the things that I have learned about life, we are mortals. We are not going to be here forever. One thing about life, it will end. For some of us, it ends a little bit earlier than others. And I've made a decision in life, especially as I continue to get all of these updates. I have spent decades serving on tons of nonprofit boards. I mean, tons. I have served, I think, over the course of my lifetime, I have served on 23 different boards. And on these boards, I have on, never served on a board that pays me. It's all been nonprofit. And at the end, when I do my taxes and they look at the charitable givings, I contribute anywhere from $30,000 to $60,000 to various nonprofits, not from companies and not from places where I get the money. I'm talking about checks I write. I do that. I give to causes I believe in. And so I think that, it's only right that some of these organizations will say to me, Janine, thank you. And they will ask me, can we use your name for various causes that we have? We would like to honor you. We feel that if we give you an award, there are folks who will actually come to the event because they will also want to celebrate you. So, for all the folks who think that I get awards every other day of the week, I am so sorry, but I am not sorry because I believe that it just speaks to the causes that I believe in. I enjoy what I do. And now, as I continue to go to one doctor's appointment after another, I am finding out very, very quickly that all of the things that I have thought about over these decades, we are only mortal. We really are. And some things come to an end. So I wanted to come on today and I wanted to just leave a thought with those of you who are children and you're dealing with aging family members, those of you who are aging and you're dealing with issues that keep popping up. I can tell you, I am a witness. I am a witness. It is scary at times. Sometimes it makes us angry. We wonder sometimes, why me? Sometimes we look at other folks who are smoking like chimneys. They're not taking care of themselves. They weigh 400 pounds. I had a woman who's like 300 pounds told me she didn't have high blood pressure. And I'm like, what the freak? Really? Really? And it's like misery likes company. And I'm like, Janine, That's just not right. She doesn't have high blood pressure, and you do, and you just keep taking your meds and do what you're supposed to do, and you will get up another morning, perhaps, without stroking out or having a heart attack. But the other thing that I have learned in this journey of aging is that healthcare is not equal. I have great healthcare benefits. I have amazing physicians. They listen to me. I can call, I can leave a message 11 o'clock tonight on a Saturday and say, look, I'm having a problem. Somewhere in the queue of their doctors on call, somebody's going to call me back and say, Miss LaRue, tell us what's going on with you. And they'll give me some suggestion. That doesn't happen with everybody in this country. And it really concerns me as I look at this aging process and to know all of the things that I look at with my lab work and the medical issues I talk with my doctors about. Like, not every aging person has this, and we have got to figure out how to fix it. The other thing I think about are family members. I have a family that loves me. I even have, look, I have two ex-husbands. Their kids and their nieces and nephews, they will fight you if you try to tell them I'm not still part of their family. I have people who will come to my rescue. I have a whole bunch of you out there who are looking at this now and who will look at it over the course of a week, who call me Mama LaRue, who call me Mimi. I got folks who love me. I am begging those of you who are watching this right now, if you have an aging family member. I know sometimes we can be a pain in the ass. Look, I know it. Sometimes, my kids will look at me and say, all right, are you a hypochondriac today? And you know what? I just look at them and say, maybe. But this is what I'm feeling. And let's get moving here. I think I need to go to the ER. I mean, some days that's the way it is. And if you live long enough, y'all gonna get your turn at this too. Please be kind to the elders as we age. I have a friend, and I hope that he's somewhere with us right now. I'm going to try to bring him on. It looks as though he's disconnected for a second. Andre, if you get a chance, I would like you to try to sign back in. There's a story that I have on my Facebook page today. See Andre Daniels. He has been a guest on the show with me, and he just sent me this today, which I was so excited to hear. He was a guest on the show a year ago, and his kidneys were failing, and he was waiting for another kidney. Let's see if I can bring him on stage. For some odd reason, it is not coming in. Andre is showing me that you're here. Is your camera on? There you
Yes, ma'am, it is. Can
go.
you hear me?
I certainly can, and so can everybody else. So let me first, Andre, before
Okay.
you start telling folks, I want to tell our viewers about Andre, because Andre is like a son to me. Yes, Jeff Booker is looking at you too, Andre. He said, great guy. And anybody who
Thank
knows
you.
Andre knows he's a great guy. So Andre came on my show last year, and he was, for the second time, he was waiting for a kidney. And Andre, I got my lab work back yesterday. My kidneys still are challenged. Okay. So I'm going to be with my doc
Yes, ma'am.
this week, and I'll talk with you about that offline. And I'm a little unnerved by it, but when I look at your face and I
Of
listen to your
course.
story and I read your articles, I'm okay. I'm okay. So Andre, for a second time, was waiting for a kidney, and which, if you're on the list waiting for a kidney, somebody else must lose a life to give you the gift of life. And it's unusual to actually be on that list twice waiting for a kidney, and it's very unusual that you get the gift of life twice the way Andre has. And Andre, we are so happy. I'm going to let you talk about your story because you sent me that article right after I posted I was going live. And my goodness, man, I read that story. Yes. So tell us about your journey, my brother.
Let me first begin by just thanking you for being the soul that you are, for being so transparent. You are a person with all of the accolades and the titles, quite frankly, that you deserve. But you have labored long and you've put the work in, and everyone sees it. And I think that's the most profound part of you is that your work and how you so freely give back of your time. I've known you for a long, long time as just simply Mom LaRue. We were neighbors at one point, living around the corner from where I live. And Sam and I and Tesca, we all kind of like go back and just want to thank you for standing in the gap and on the front line, not only for me, but for so many people that may have needed you the most. And having said it, all of that, let me, I think the kidney story is a beautiful story, and I thank the creator for him empowering me and allowing me to use that story as a metaphor. And I don't want to detract away from it because it's very real. The needles are real, giving up the blood is real, being cannulized is real, the uncertainty of it all, until you realize that at the end of the day, i never I'm learning, and I've learned not to live to be on dialysis, not to live with end stage renal disease, not to live with the infirmary. But what I've loved the most about the journey is that I've learned how to live. And that goes to your subject matter of today, that we're all aging, that quite frankly, we are all on that level of time. And we never know when our time is going to be up. And I think it's to the point that you're making today with this subject matter is you just have to live life to the fullest every day. Take the trip, go on the vacation. If you want to do something that you always buy the motorcycle. I'm a mentor with National Kidney Foundation as a peer mentor, and I was talking to one of my mentees just yesterday, and I was telling him that I bought a motorcycle when I first went on dialysis. And the doctors and family looked at me like, are you crazy? Like, you already have one foot in the grave. And I said to the doctors, if you do your job, I'm going to do my job. And my
Amen.
job is just simply to be compliant, be a good patient. But if by your admission, one foot is already in the grave, and me buying a motorcycle was always a bucket list item that I wanted to do, I can't think of a better time.
Right.
The
Right.
patients in the dialysis center used to say, well, what are they giving you that they're not giving us? Is your insurance paying for something? And I was like, no, it's just the Papa principle: perspective, attitude, passion, and advocacy.
Oh, I
You
love
got to
that.
believe in the science. And if the science is there, well, then get up. Now, I say all of that with a degree of excitement. And I also want to thank you for just being willing to be vulnerable enough to be transparent in your story.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the
Mm-hmm.
part, particularly as men, and no difference to anybody else, particularly as Black men, we sometimes are afraid to stand up for fear of scrutiny, for fear of all of the other things that generally come. You must be a kook, you must be crazy. And no, because it's something about being a North Star that someone somewhere is watching. And if
Mm.
it's just that one person that can get the message,
Say
that's
it.
everything.
Say it.
That's everything. Yes, ma'am. And Thomas, I told him yesterday, when you go to dialysis this morning, Tom, you know, um, when you get there and it becomes depressing and everything, tie a knot at the end of the rope and hold on and
Mm.
look and think about something else. The reason why you're living. Thank God for the extended time, because there are so many other infirmaries that, quite frankly, could have taken you out. A massive heart attack, a massive asthma attack. And God bless the angel that gave me this second chance at life, because she passed away from a massive asthma attack. There are so many other things that can happen to us that allows for no time. with our
Right.
loved ones singing, I wish I had a moment. I wish I had more time. I tell my children and I tell people, enjoy me now. Tomorrow's not promised to me.
That's it.
All we have is this moment. And when Thomas, he sent me a long text message, and let me hold it together because it's, while I'm sitting outside, maybe it's the pollen, but no one's cooking onions. So excuse me
I'm
if I
not
have a
crying. You're
moment.
crying.
But he sent me a long message just thanking me for the moment. And the article that I sent you, I didn't even know that it had been published already. And it wasn't on the website that it was supposed to land on. And he said, I saw this article and I never bring my laptop, Andre. And he said, I brought my laptop and I put in kidney warrior or survival and your story came up. Look at God. Who would have known? Like, how would, like, I don't know whether he put my name in the search engine. I say all that just to simply say that the universe, the creator God, whatever deity we believe in, has an awesome way of directing and redirecting people to where they need to be. He said, this story was everything. And what I get from it is that I got to learn how to live again.
Yes.
So he said, finances aren't an issue. He was a regional director in the DMV area for Costco for their security. So I believe him when he told me that. And I said, look at that blessing. So
Mm.
many of our fellow warriors have to get off of a machine, a moment to pause, and they got to put in 8 hours somewhere.
Yes.
Think about that blessing that you don't have to do it. If you choose to go home and take a nap, you can. So
And
make the
let me
most.
say this to you on that,
Yes,
Andre.
ma'am.
Althea Ruffin has said
Yeah,
gratitude. See,
right,
what you're talking about is in the moment for Tom. There is gratitude. He doesn't have to go to work.
right.
He financially,
Yes.
he is okay. He can focus on what he wants to focus. In all of our dark moments, we can find gratitude. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I had to throw that
Amen.
gratitude in. Yes.
No, thank you. Thank you. That's a teachable moment. It underscores what we're saying. And in that, like I told Tom, his wife is in the journey with him. She's in the struggle. And I didn't admonish him or nothing. There's no right or wrong when you pair. Like we just walk this journey together. I kind of understand, even if I don't know exactly what you're going through. And I told him, walk up to your wife. She wants to be involved. She wants to get up with you at 3 o'clock in the morning and help you get off. Don't shy her away or leave her out because that's her part of the journey. And I said, just, you might want to, when you get home today, take a moment and say, hon, let's go out for some ice cream. I just love you. Thank you for being along on the journey because our caregivers and those who walk with us are vitally important. And mom, you talked about the importance of that not too long ago when you said, not only do you have a loving family and close friends who have been and are supporters, and it goes to your authenticity and your transparency, but you have people like me and a cadre of other folks that are your mentees and your extended family who just simply love you because of that. And, you know, at the end of the day, what we're talking about, you can have all the hope in the world, but we really just need the opportunity. And that's just one of the things that I continue to thank you for because you've given me so much opportunity just to have exposure. And you never know, sometimes you got to go through a mess to have a
Hmm.
message. Sometimes you got to go through a test to be able to talk about a testimony. And I heard a pastor recently talk about the transformation therein. When you're in that mess, stewing, and you're going through it, like what was the transformation part? How did you end up better on the other side? And as an airman and a retired Air Force person, yeah, I like to use the Navy analogy that at the end of the day, you don't want a captain steering your ship that quite frankly has never been in a storm and known how to get on the other side of that storm. When the waves get high and you begin thrashing about on the boat. So I'm not going to
I want to
take
say
up any more
something.
time.
No, no, no.
This
I want to
is
say a couple things to you, because I'm always giving a speech. I always have somebody call me to give a keynote address. So there are two keynote
yes,
addresses
ma'am.
somebody's going to hear again. One is tie a knot at the end of the rope. brother.
Yes.
What?
You
You know,
find
that's deep
yourself
right
at the
there.
end of, yes,
Tired.
ma'am. You find yourself at the end of a rope, tie a knot and hold on.
Say this.
Call
And the
me.
other one is you sometimes you gotta go through a mess to have a message. Let
Yes,
me tell
ma'am.
you, you're gonna hear that again. There's one last thing before I let you go. Is yes, Jeff, hold on. No mud, no lotus. Oh yes, Althea. So I know again, sorry for your loss. I know that you lost your beloved wife. And I
Yes,
walked
ma'am.
through that whole part with you, and you know about me and Maria. So one of the things that I wanted to put out there, people are like, Janine, you know, you're going to all of these events all the time and you're working all the time and you need to start dating. You need to listen. Here's the other thing that I say to folks. Now, first of all, I'm going to be real transparent. Yes, I am available to date. That is real. All right. It's been 6 years since Maria passed away. I am now open to date. But here's the thing that I feel about dating. So, yeah, I had 22 wonderful years with her, 22 magnificent years. I'm as old as dirt. I ain't getting into a relationship just because other people want me in a relationship, just because folks think I should be in a relationship. I am so happy with me. First of all, I tell folks, for those who are, especially elderly people, who find themselves quote unquote alone. What does alone mean, right, Andre?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
You don't
And
have.
you,
Yes, go ahead, go
yeah,
ahead.
if I could, you know, I was there and been there for your journey, and then a year later, my journey with Tina. And there's one concentric theme that runs parallel to both of us and all of that. Both Maria and Tina showed us all a little bit about living and life. You don't realize it until you have a number or a definite time frame of when you may have to part. And Tina shared with me that I'm afraid, I don't want to go. And I begged God, I said, Lord, I got kidney problems. You can take me. Let my wife be here for the kids. And that's not always in the design. And to take away those last birthdays, Christmas,
Mm,
holidays were some of the best. And what I got out of that is she showed us a lot about living, not
yes,
dying. It
yes.
wasn't in the dying, like the dying physical part hurt. We know that part hurts. But the message was whatever time you have, make the most out of it.
Make the most.
Make the most out of it. And I know you got that same message, Mom.
Yes, I got it. And you know what? For I went. My last vacation was 2022 because I was like, I'm not going on any more vacations. I'm all by myself. So before Maria died, and we went to Puerto Rico, went to Bahamas, went all over the place. And so I'm like, but then I started thinking, well, I'm a good travel partner. And if I go somewhere, I guarantee you I'm not going to be sitting on Gilligan's Island all by myself. There are going to be other people there. So yes, I went to Turks and Caicos a few weeks ago. I'm going to go to Martha's Vineyard in August with my kids will be coming with me, and then I'm going to go some other places. I am going to live, and what I would like elderly people to understand is that we are enough. We really are enough.
Amen.
And so I
Amen.
road trip. Yes, Jeff, that's what I need to do. I should just go wild. I should buy a little camper, put my little short self in it, and just with all of this high gas stuff, get in it and just start moving. Because with the job I do with Moxie and even these LaRuelist Cafe, I can do a lot of it virtually, so I can keep working and just keep moving. But I
I
thank
say
you.
I say that me, Jeff, and whoever else on this post, let's
Let's
get one of
go.
those big motorhome
Let's go.
and
We'll
let's
have our
go.
On the road reality show. You know what?
That's right.
We will really make some money then.
We'll bring for those, and I'm dating myself here. We'll bring back Charles Carroll on the road.
Oh my goodness, right? I remember.
Remember that?
Jeff said, let's go, let's
Yeah.
do it. Let's do it.
Awesome.
Shanique, elderly people need to understand that you are enough. That part. That
That
part.
part. That
So
part.
I'm not going to hold people on here Saturday morning, all morning. I thank people for signing on, giving us 30 minutes of their time today. Anything you want to part with, Andre, because I was going to do this by myself, but I was so excited when you said, I'll join you. Oh yeah, Anthony Bourdain. I wish I could have talked with him so he wouldn't have killed himself because that guy, I was addicted to him. I was addicted to his show with all the
Wow.
wonderful
Wow.
food that he cooked. Any parting words, Andre?
Look, yes, Mom. Once again, thank you. And I'll simply say this, that you may be an eligible bachelor, but you are one great catch. Anyone would be lucky to have you. Now, if they can make it past the smell test of Sam, Teska, and entire family, and the other part of the family, folks like me and everybody else,
That's
well,
kind of
then they must be truly special because
tough.
they're going to have to walk the gauntlet of scrutiny, and we're
I'm
not going to
telling
let
you,
you end up with just
y'all
anybody.
ain't playing with
So
him.
love
That's
you once, love you twice. We ain't playing with them, so
right.
love you once, love you twice. I just want to wish everyone a great day. And I don't know if little sis Shanique is on this call, but
Yes,
just
she
tell her
is.
she's up and coming. She has next. She's doing great thing. Stay connected and close to you and the other brothers and sisters that are out there. And yeah, she's the next big thing. Continue to
Yes.
manifest your destiny.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Karen
Thank
Hilton.
you.
We love you, all of you who have joined us today. It has been a real joy, and make it a great one. And be kind to these elders. We got a lot of crap going on with us, and we need your support. Take care. Love you all. Bye bye.
Amen. Bye bye.